by ministers on matters of government policy and by members as well, and bills, papers, and reports may be presented to the House. So, Speaker, motions may be debated and consequential resolutions taken. There will be the regular briefings of the House. So, Speaker, I believe that during that week, notice of the nomination of the Supreme Court judges will also be put out and preparations made for the Appointments Committee's work. So, Speaker, in accordance with Order 216(2) and subject to Order 67, the committee submits to the House the order in which the business of the House shall be taken during the week and urge this House to adopt the report. Thank you.
Honourable members, the business statement has been ably presented by the chairman of the business committee. It is now for your comment. Yes, Honourable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the majority leader and the chairman of the business committee when we should be expecting the mid-year budget. Mr. Speaker, the second observation on page 7, 8 up to 9, the chairman of the committee made provisions for business on Friday, the 6th of June. My understanding is that the minister responsible for Interior and National Security have declared that day a public holiday. And Mr. Speaker, even though the minister responsible for Interior declared the Friday 6th June as a public holiday for Eid al-Adha, Mr. Speaker, we are all aware that the president did promise that the Eid festival, there will be a 2-day holiday. And Mr. Speaker, the Eid al-Fitr, which is the first one, we had 2 holidays that the president, based on the promise of the Adha when the president promised us 2 days. That's what I am saying. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why I'm talking to the chairman who wants clarification. I'm talking to the chairman who needs clarification on the issues that I am raising. Because majority leader, even though we appreciate what the president did for us for the Eid al-Fitr, the 2 days, equally, Eid al-Adha is the climax of the fifth pillar of Islam, which is very, very important. That's the time we slaughter our cows. And that's the time we even need more time to rejoice. So I can invite the minister responsible for roads and highways to come and marry with me. But if he give us 1 day, it's against the promise of the president. And I don't want to believe that the president deceived the Muslim community. Thank you.
Yes, Chairman of the Business Committee, can we take some comments, then you have the floor to respond to them. Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, let me start off by commending the leader of the House, who so far has navigated well. Now, if you look at the business statement as proposed for the adoption by the House, clearly replete with a number of questions. 72 questions is not ordinary. And these questions are questions that are outstanding, which has been offloaded. I'm also reliably aware that there are fresh questions. In fact, for our side, there are fresh questions that we have filed, anticipating the ministers to come and do justice and respond to these questions. So what? Now, we will not countenance excuses in the coming weeks. In fact, some of the ministers dutifully attend upon the House. Some don't. And we are taking a cue. I don't want to mention any names, but the Honorable Road Minister is a notable personality who is always in the House. Now, Honorable Akande has joined him. Now, Honorable Akande is taking a cue from Honorable Abuja. The other ministers should take a cue. In the coming weeks, Majority Leader, we are not going to countenance, I am attending a meeting here, I am attending a conference here. This is Parliament, and it must prioritize the work of Parliament. So I'm hoping the respected Majority Leader will take this into consideration as we plan programs and activities for the ensuing week. Speaker, the Majority Leader will recall that I was at the Business Committee meeting. One of the agreements, significant agreement at the meeting, which I found missing, was a decision to program the Exchequer, the Finance Minister, to be here between Tuesday and Wednesday because of what he's doing at, we are told, an official program at Côte d'Ivoire, the AFDB elections. I can't find that captured. The Finance Minister must be in the House. Common Fund is outstanding. Get Fund project is outstanding. Well, NHIA, we are here to give official assent to the formula, so one cannot talk about it. You can see sadness in the faces of, if you visit assemblies, no show. The assemblies are unhappy. The ministers are not happy. Why? And the Finance Minister will so moto decide when he wants to pay Common Fund. He's our friend. He's one of our own. But this one will put friendship aside. He must be programmed to attend upon the House and tell us what the plans are to honor these payments. And I'm sure the leader of the House agrees with me. Again, Mr. Speaker, there's an observation that is emerging as a trend. Mining agreement. I recall when we we passed the budget for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, there was no provision for the reclamation of polluted water bodies, land, and all what have you. Yet, mining agreements day in, day out are being extended. Mining agreements are being signed. Article 268 of the Constitution is clear. An imperative on this House to ensure the ratification of these agreements. The majority leader, a respected lawyer as he is, also agrees. The current one is the gold mines, Goldfields Damai mine. We are aware, formally, there was a former release. Government has extended it. Yet, the executive cannot take Parliament for granted. They must bring that agreement here for ratification. We are entering the second week and no show. Meanwhile, the mining companies are working. Parliament has not ratified it. And the mining companies are working. Mr. Speaker, these agreements must be brought to the House forthwith for Parliament to consider them. The executive cannot assume that the extension of the agreement is an automatic ratification by Parliament. No. Especially in this time and age, when water bodies, we have renewed effort in the pollution of water bodies and the destruction of land. We cannot. The lands minister, this is not a matter for him to shed tears. This is not a matter for shedding of tears. He should just bring the agreement for us to consider. And I'll bring this to the notice of the majority leader to ensure the minister does the needful. If you visit Sakumono and its environs, houses are being pulled down for reasons we don't know. What we hear is that these houses have been built on waterways. Ramsey sites have been encroached upon, and hence the need for these houses to be pulled down. We don't know. That is what we've been hearing. At least, as a representative of the people, the minister should come. We will want to support the minister to sanitize building activities and to ensure that the right thing is done. Because I am also aware, and some of the assemblies who wrongfully issue building permits and yet go behind and cause the destruction of these same buildings. So, it's a big concern, and we will be happy if the local government minister or a minister relevant to this program to come and apprise us. Is it just the question of structures being built on waterways being destroyed? Are there other considerations we need to look at? These are concerns that we cannot simply gloss over. Let me draw the curtains on an engagement we had with the Speaker and leadership. I thought the discussion has been firmed up in terms of the time we'll start proceedings. We are told there's a proposal almost accepted that we should start proceedings at 2. And leader, I don't know if it's a matter that has been firmed up. It should find expression, or we should have a confirmation so that honorable members can program themselves accordingly.
Honorable member, on that note, I was part of that meeting, and you know it was conditional. Various caucuses would have to be informed, and by the agreement of the caucus, then the change will come appropriately. I think that was the decision taken at that meeting.
Yeah, that's fine. My conclusion is that the mood of the House, leader, I'm trying to gauge the mood of the House. I see your back, sadness to the power 4. And our back, sadness to the power 3. Majority leader, do something. The mood of the House is not too good. Members are happy. There are matters I cannot discuss in the open. So leadership must engage. Honorable Doyo, do the needful. Honorable Doyo, are you listening? You are on call. Listen to me. Deputy Whip, are you talking to the Finance Minister?
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, you rightly stated it, that leadership must engage. So do your engagement and communicate it to the caucus.
And we also want to plead that the majority leader, I trust him, when he wants to deliver, he does deliver.
He doesn't want.
But this one, we are not happy. There are lots of discussions that we cannot elaborate on in the open. And then finally, there are 4 ministers that are still outstanding. What are we waiting for? We are ready to support you. Bring your 4 ministers. The Honorable Mills, for instance, he needs to be considered. My good friend. And then I see... Adongo has been praying and fasting. Speaker,
He doesn't fast.
he has been...
Honorable Anodom Pre, do you want to be appointed?
No, Speaker, I know he's one of our own, and when he succeeds...
No, do you personally want to be appointed?
No, my time will come.
So what is your worry?
Speaker, my time will come. Just that I'm worried the way Honorable Adongo is not happy. He's not happy. He has been praying and fasting, hoping that the last 4, he will make the list. And the 4 is not coming. So, majority leader, try and push the 4 so that we can consider our good friend. Because having said that, I want to thank you for the space and invite the majority leader to give us some good answers. I thank you.
Let me hear briefly from Honorable Adongo.
Mr. Speaker, I think it to me be very, very sad that you are here talking. He was expecting you to sleep at Yoko with him. You abandoned him to sleep there. And today, you promised the people of Ghana that you abandon this chamber. You are here making a lot of arguments. Wuntumi, you people should tell Wuntumi his people are deceiving him. And he's sleeping there alone and they are here. Arguing for more holidays.
Honorable Adongo, are they supposed to sleep there with him?
Mr. Speaker, that is what they made us believe.
Chairman of the committee,
We were surprised when they were sitting on the ground there.
Honorable
But when we
Animedo.
went there at 7, they had disappeared.
Yes, Honorable Kwame Animedo Entry.
For you.
I think it's a technical challenge.
He's back. Come here. Mine is working. So you come and use this one. The majority leader deliberately off the minority's mic. Come and use this one.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a short one. I just wanted to remind the majority leader that we are entering June, and up till now, we haven't seen the motion for the resolution for the international parliamentary delegations. It was something that was on the order paper last meeting, but surprisingly, we cannot see that, and we are entering June almost tomorrow. So if you want, we can hear something from him on that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. It's a very good observation. Yes, Chairman of the Business Committee, you have the floor.
Right Honorable Speaker, I regret what is happening to the microphones of the minority. The IT department should fix it. The minority have called off their announced boycott of the House, and therefore they need the microphones working so that they can participate fully. So I urge the IT department to quickly fix that, because the minority do not intend to boycott the House. On the question about mid-year budget, I'm sure when we get to the middle of the year, it will come. And also, the Honorable Habib's issue about a second holiday for Eid Adha. If you listened carefully to the President, what he said was that I am pleased to announce that I have instructed the legal counsel at the Presidency, Madame Marietta Brew, to amend the Public Holidays Act to allow for an additional holiday in celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr. From this year onwards, 2 public holidays will be observed at the end of the holy month of Ramadan. This is what the President said. At the end of the holy month of Ramadan. And I was in Cabinet, and indeed the proposal was presented, it was carried, and the amendment to the public holidays bill will be brought, and the appropriate legislation will be enacted by this House. That was the specific promise of the President. Ministers attending, yes, we will try and make sure that the ministers attend. Parliament is one of their first primary responsibilities, especially those who are members of Parliament. And if unavoidably they cannot make it, we will also give advance notice and reschedule the questions. As you will know, we don't have too many ministers. We have ministers that don't have deputies. Some international conferences require Ghana to be represented at the highest levels. And so ministers often have no option but to represent the country. And when that happens and they don't have deputy ministers, we will have to reschedule their questions. Otherwise, we will make sure every minister who is in town is here to answer their questions. I agree that mining agreements that the Constitution says must be ratified should be brought here for ratification. So any mining agreement that the Constitution says should be ratified by this House must be brought for ratification. So I will re-echo your call for those mining agreements to be brought to Parliament for us to consider. Local government minister, I think if you look at the statement, I did indicate that Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Order 91(2), ministers of state may be permitted to make statements on government policy. Government policy. See, let's not confuse statements to be made by government ministers on government policy with our responsibility as members of Parliament to ask ministers specific questions on implementation of the law for them to come and answer. When somebody builds at the wrong location and an assembly goes to enforce the law, if you want the minister here, you have to ask a specific question for the minister to come. It is not a government policy. The rules are clear that the ministers come here to answer questions asked by us specifically or to make statements on government policy. So we cannot, anytime that a business statement is presented, get up and recount all the things that we perceive to be going wrong in this country and say that the minister should come and answer when you haven't asked them a specific question, when it is not government policy. So henceforth, let's be careful what we ask for, because sitting here, I'll make sure that I check the rules and I use the rules to checkmate you. So ministers will only come to make statements on government policy, and ministers will only come to answer specific questions asked of them by members of parliament. Not this practice where on Fridays everybody gets up and recounts from A to Z what he thinks that a minister should come and make a statement about. And I did have discussions with the members of business committee, and I indicated that the Minister for Finance had planned to come early this week on Tuesday to make a number of statements, but because of his appointment as a returning officer at the election of the president of the African Development Bank, he had to immediately leave for Abidjan and has asked me to reschedule the program for him to come and make the statements this week. So I had made that known to members at the business committee, and that is why we've made provision in C that ministers may come and make statements. Starting proceedings at 2 p.m. Yes, we did discuss that. We agreed among ourselves as leaders, but we thought we should engage our various caucuses before formally announcing it. And so when we have the committee of the whole, we can discuss it, and when we have our caucus meetings, we can discuss it and give the speaker a feedback so that he can make a formal announcement. I do agree that we must have a resolution on the delegations, and so we would accelerate the process of making sure that in the ensuing week we have the resolution on the delegations. I thought we had, what was holding us was the percentage of the representation. I took a position, my counterpart took a position, and nobody is willing to back off from his position, and that is what is holding us. If you accept my position, we will come and pass the resolution. Otherwise, Speaker has proposed a midway, which is to announce the statutory representation, and the nominee representation from both caucuses will be presented when we are able to conclude on what we think are the appropriate representations from both sides of the House. That is what is holding us. On the mood of the House, I think the mood of the House is good. So, the mood of the House is good. 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 The mood of the House is good, and we will uplift it further. We will uplift it further, but the mood is good, and I thank colleagues and urge you to adopt the report of the committee.
Yes, Honorable Anodon Press.
Speaker, I'm not too old in this House. However, I have witnessed my fourth term. I'm quite old. The majority leader relates to a fact that specific question should be asked of ministers, and the minister should come and answer to these specific questions. I also know for a fact, as a practice of the House, that where there is a matter of national concern, a matter that is of importance, oftentimes their side, when they were here, and he himself has exploited that, where he will say that this is a matter of public concern, and hence, shall we program the minister to come and apprise us? We've done this thing a number of times. Is it the case that under his reign, new king, new law, so he's going to depart from that? I think it's not good enough. Yes, we know the existence of the provisions in the orders that allows her to ask specific questions. It is also a practice that where a matter as grave as the destruction of properties, and the majority leader is saying that it is not of national concern, and therefore we cannot program the minister to come and apprise that. I find that very strange. And I leave this to the judgment of this House. Personally, I think we should look at it again.
Honorable Chief Whip, with all due respect, I believe strongly the way we are going about it calls for concern. If a matter is not before the business committee for discussion to be programmed, and you are asking that the business statement to be varied to accommodate a particular issue of great importance, you go about it in a way not to create the impression as if that ought to have been programmed, yet it is not on the business statement. That is where the missing link is coming from.
Yeah, you see, at the business committee, I raise it. And oftentimes, I don't just raise it. I don't like surprises. I've often reached out to him. Even this morning, he will bear me out. A matter on the lease, mining lease. I went to him, I said, leader, with respect, this is a matter of national concern. I don't want to pull a surprise on the floor. Get prepared, I'm going to raise it. At the business committee, I brought it to his attention that
at the time that the business statement has already been prepared.
But he answered it. He considered it important. So at the business committee, I spoke to him and said that, leader, people's buildings are being pulled out. It's a concern, it's a national security matter. Can you reach out to the minister so that at least he comes to carry us along? The minister may have good intentions, but the impression out there is not good.
So what was the decision of the business at the business committee on the matter?
It wasn't a decision of the committee. He promised that he will reach out to the minister. So, but if it's a decision that I have to file a specific question, that's fine. I will.
Yes, Majority Leader and Chairman of the Business Committee.
Mr. Speaker, I think that we must bring discipline to the way that we conduct affairs and proceedings in this House. You can ask an urgent question. The rules make provision for asking urgent questions so that the minister can come and answer those questions. But we sidestep the rules and we come on Fridays after we've agreed at business committee meeting what should be the business, and then we come and raise all manner of things. Matters that we could simply address by asking urgent questions. Because we make provision that, Mr. Speaker, the Business Committee has scheduled the following ministers to respond to questions asked of them during the week. So we've made provision for questions. We've made provision for urgent questions and then oral questions. Then our rules are clear on our right to ask urgent questions. So I'm just saying that let's be a bit more compliant with our rules. And this theatrics of every Friday we come and then we raise issues and make it look like as a leader, I can, based on your prompting, just direct a minister to come and make statements on the floor. And I'm saying that the minister will come and make a statement if it is government policy he wants to come and announce. But where an assembly is enforcing zoning laws, an assembly is enforcing building regulations, you may not like the idea that they are enforcing the law, but they are enforcing the law. Should the minister be held accountable because an assembly is enforcing the law? You can ask an urgent question. Why is the property in this location being pulled down? Then the minister will come and say, well, I've checked with the assembly, and the assembly says that they built at the wrong place, they had no building permit, their construction was defective, it is a hazard to the inhabitants of the building. They may have so many reasons why they have decided to pull down a building. So I think that we should follow the rules. We have done it in the past, but I strongly believe that at this rate, I see some effort to misuse this practice that we allow each other to engage in. We had the discussion, you drew my attention, and I said it's right. I think that the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources should make sure he brings the agreements for us to ratify. You said you will raise it. I said no problem, raise it. Again, you discussed with me about the outstanding payments. I explained to the business committee that all the outstanding payments are ready. The finance minister has given payment instructions. I even showed some members of the committee the letter of the finance minister instructing payment. But I indicated that he wanted to accompany the instruction with a policy statement. And I had scheduled him to come on Tuesday. Unfortunately, he had to dash off to La Côte d'Ivoire. And so when he returns, we will schedule him. The only outstanding payment is National Health Insurance Authority Fund formula, which we haven't approved yet. So because we haven't approved it, the minister cannot make the payment. I explained all that to you at the committee meeting. So, right honorable Speaker, we've been very, very open. We've been very, very responsive. I just urge that let's keep within the rules of the House.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, still on the business statement.
Yes, maybe we should draw the curtain on this matter, and he's spoken. But, Speaker, for the record, the majority leader used the word theatrics. In all fairness and with respect to him, if I feel strongly about something, this is a debating chamber. I have the right to express same. I have the right to express same. I take exception to the word theatrics. I will not engage in theatrics for anything. I'm representing the people of Insaoma Dreji, and I have the right to speak to things that I believe in. Yes, no, I have not abused the rules. Leader, I have not abused the rules. You are the leader of the House. To use the word theatrics, no. When you were here, Fridays, we knew what you were doing. And no, not exactly. But you see, if it is the case that now you are here, and therefore you find it offensive, that's fine. But don't say that we are engaging in theatrics. That word should not be coming from you. You are the leader of the House. We respect you as the leader of the House. Don't use those words on us. We will not engage in theatrics for anything. Because I feel offended by that word. I feel offended by that word. We have cooperated with them. Even yesterday, when your Minister of Finance, Speaker, is he here? This is me, Speaker. Yesterday, Speaker, look at who is talking. Yesterday, we allowed you to lay the papers for Finance Minister. You have a formula. We have not approved your formula yet. We have not approved your formula yet. You should be quiet. Because I think the majority leader, the greatest respect to him, he should just withdraw that word. Theatrics, no. That is an attack on the entire minority. To say that we are engaging in theatrics, no. We are representing our constituencies. And Speaker, I think I want to implore you to impress upon the respected leader to withdraw that word. Theatrics is not good a description for our side. I think it's wrong.
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the chairman of the business committee, because when in responding to my earlier question, he said the president directed his legal counsel or the one in charge to bring the Public Holidays Act. So meaning even the 2 holidays for the Eid al-Fitr, it hasn't been properly captured in the Public Holidays Act. That's one. And then the second thing is that when I asked when we are expecting the media budget review, the chairman, you dancing around it. That's number one. The second thing is that majority leader, let me finish my question, then you can respond. Then the other thing is that Okay. Mr. Speaker, the other thing is that when he was reading, he said on the holy day, the president promised. The president only promised Eid al-Fitr. And if that is the communication to the Muslim community that he never promised Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, I have read the same speech that you are talking about. And part of the speech, which is reported on Graphic Online and other news portals, quoted the president saying that Eid, they said Eid is a time for deep spiritual reflection, community gathering, and an act of charity. The additional holiday will give Muslims ample time to fulfill their religious duties. So, Mr. Speaker,
with all due respect, don't you think that in working on the law, all these issues should be addressed?
So, Mr. Speaker, if it is the case that the president doesn't want to add Eid al-Adha, we should add the Eid al-Adha ourselves in this house, in this chamber. We can do it. And you are the first Muslim majority leader. It will be part of your achievement. And Mr. Speaker, the majority leader in responding to business statements, he has to be as calm as he is. He is the leader of the house. He shouldn't be using words that will provoke people. He should know that he is the leader of the house. And if his mood is there, we will double our own. But if his mood is down, then we will cooperate with him. So, majority leader, you are the leader of the house. And for that matter, certain words, don't let the minister responsible for health influence you. Akando, when he was here, that was part of the things that he was doing. You are now a minister. Stop influencing him. So do the needful and respect what the chief whip said. And do the needful so that you can carry us along. The mood of this today is not good. So don't let us make it worse.
Honorable Chairman of the Business Committee, your brother is not happy about the use of a particular words.
Mr. Speaker, as for theater, this chamber is a place for theater sometimes. And we all engage in theater. And it is to lighten the atmosphere in this room. And theater helps to communicate. That is the whole idea of theater. And sometimes when you are theatrical, you are more effective in communicating to your constituents that you are representing them. And so when I say that you are successfully theatrical, it means that you are effective in communicating to your constituents. So I thought that I was commending you. I thought I was commending you for being very, very effective. But if you think that you don't want to be applauded for being effective, I would draw the word theater. Mr. Speaker, I also want to assure my brother that definitely the mid-year budget will come. It will come. We just resumed, and so the mid-year budget will come in the middle of the year. I don't think that to say that the mid-year budget will come in the middle of the year is dancing. In fact, he also withdraw the word dancing. He says, I'm dancing. Mr. Speaker, was I dancing? Mr. Speaker, I'm also offended by being described as dancing when I was sitting. Mr. Speaker, I was sitting, and he said I was dancing. He says he has also withdrawn. We are even. Mr. Speaker, let me assure you that I mean no disrespect to any member of this House. And I think I forgot to address the question about ministerial nominees. I think it is the prerogative of the president to decide how many ministers he wants. I think the NDC, as a political party, before coming into office, promised a certain number. If the president thinks that he has enough men and women to work with, that's his decision. If the minority chief whip has favorites that he wants to recommend to the president, I cannot stop him from using this chamber to keep lobbying for his favorites. Some of them are also my friends and brothers. If they get appointments, I'll be happy. But it's up to the president to take a decision on the total number of ministers that he wants to work with. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
All members, the business statement as presented is hereby adopted. Honourable members, let me recognize the presence of our children here in our midst. We have Abosokai RC Primary School, led by Gifty Kumoji, a teacher. They are from Ablekuma Central constituency, a numbered 100. We also have Shalom School Complex, and the leader is N.S. Yabua, administrator. They are in Duami Kwabenya constituency. We have Supreme Power School Complex, led by John Anabila, head teacher. They are from Mamasama. They numbered 62. On behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I wish our children a fruitful visit to the House. Thank you very much. Honourable members, we need to suspend sitting to take care of an urgent matter. Sitting will resume shortly. Thank you very much. Sitting accordingly suspended.